Hello, everyone. We are back, and we originally started this stream, and then all of a sudden, our stream got hijacked by the one and only Santa Claus.
Hi. Merry Christmas, my friend. And it's very good to be back for the next few days with me, Santa Claus. I have a big big fat sack, and I can't wait to spread my goodness all over your lovely faces. I want to give you my joy on those faces, and I can't wait. We're gonna have a lot of fun today, boys. Oh, yes.
I just remembered I've never met Santa Claus before.
Oh, it's
This
so
is a
nice to
treat.
meet you. It's so nice to meet you, my
The pleasure is
friend.
all mine, you
Oh, it's so
deliciously
good.
offensive bastard.
Oh, yes, I know. I try my very best.
Oh,
I,
you do not disappoint, sir. It is a pleasure to
oh,
meet you. Oh, I
oh,
can't wait
this,
to hear what you think about the weapons of Star Trek.
oh, I hope they're long and cylindrical. And I want to have it in my hands and know how it feels. It's going to be so
Oh
good.
my.
Oh, yes.
So, as I said, we did kind of already start the stream a little bit, technical issues, because Xanta, of course, had to unload his sack all over us here and our internet stream. So, just quick introductions. Obviously, Xanta, Armory Officer Major Reed. And we are talking about Star Trek weapons, handheld and ship wide. Best, the worst, and the broken. So I started off, I don't know where the stream cut off last time, but I was talking about, for one of my favorites is the Defiant. The Defiant's quantum torpedoes, and not like the big white quantum torpedoes from the Enterprise E. I'm talking about the quick, rapid pulsing uh, phase pulse
Pew
torpedo.
pew. Pew 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 pew
Torpedoes.
pew.
One of my favorites. Defiant's one of my favorite ships. It's the quintessential warship slash fighter. Like I mean, it's more like a fighter than a starship if you think about it.
It's
But
all gun, man. It
mhm.
takes two shots and starts imploding. It's delicious.
Yep. And then Major, we moved on to you, and so you go ahead, sir, and go ahead and tell us again. I'm pretty sure we were off air by the time you kind of revealed yours.
I'm pretty sure the name says it all. I'm a simp for the NX-01. I love the bridging. See what I did there? Of technologies between what we have now and know in reality and the science fiction of the photon torpedo or the quantum torpedo. A phase cannon seems a lot more akin to an actual laser than maybe some of the stuff we get a little bit later on. Even the more typical looks more like a firearm nature of the phase pistol, their handheld weapon in Enterprise. I really love that, but I see what you mean about the Defiant. The Defiant's an amazing ship. As far as any sort of the warships go in Star Trek, it is the one. And the thing that's great about the NX-01 is it was an exploration ship, and they had to figure out the weapons on the fly. Reed's out there jury rigging up the phase cannons to get them the other ones online that they launched without, just because they realized it's not exactly friendly out in space. Not everyone in the quadrant wants to be your best pal.
That's right. And that's one of my big things that I like about Enterprise, or not, and well, Enterprise as well as Star Trek post Roddenberry. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to speak ill of the man, but him thinking that everybody in the universe was going to be kumbaya and loving, after it just doesn't make sense. You can make the Federation all kumbaya and loving, which they've yes, Cisco pimp hand.
It's
That's right.
strong.
That is what the Defiant is Cisco's pimp hand. That's what I'm going to start calling it from now on. That's amazing. But I do like the fact that they did develop the warship, because it's just like, yeah, Roddenberry's dream is not like, for the Federation. Okay, we can suspend reality, thinking, okay, there's this conglomerate of races that are all happy and blah 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 blah. But honestly, like, it doesn't mean that everybody in the universe is going to be that way. The Klingons aren't, the Romulans aren't, the Cardassians aren't, and Roddenberry even had those elements in his original series, so he knew. You know,
the original Klingons, they acted more like akin, to the Chinese, a very Cold War analogy. Uh,
I was thinking more
um,
of the Mongols.
yeah, the Mongols. I mean, I could see it. The Mongolians.
Mm.
could, yeah. Definitely, there's lots of, the Klingon plots usually involved like proxy wars and such as that. And, that's one of the only things that, well, I won't say only things, it's probably the best serious episode of Strange New Worlds this season was the Klingon episode. But tangent station, sorry. We
That's
got
okay.
Mr. System in the house. What's up?
I saw a picture of the actress who played Naomi Wildman, and she is hot. Would be nice to see her play the character in Lower Decks. I mean, why not bring her back for Legacy if they ever do that? Like, they could have her in Legacy.
Lieutenant Wildman? That would
Well,
be pretty awesome.
she would probably be like a commander by that point.
Captain's assistant, even.
Oh God. Yeah, yeah.
For me, when I think of Naomi Waldman, I think of those horns, and I think of our poor mother having to give birth with those horns. Oh
Just
my
got
goodness.
tore up.
Yeah, but nevertheless, Mr. System, my friend, you need to give me the name of the actress so I can Google it and find out how hot she is. Please, my friend.
Zinta needs to add it to his spank bank.
Hello, my friend. Yes, I do.
Okay, Xanta, what weapon in Star Trek do you deflates your fancy?
Well, what it is with Star Trek in general is that they have to get something that is familiar and alienified it or futuristic it, and it ends up being stupid. And that is, without doubt, the Bat'leth. The Bat'leth, without doubt, is one of the most stupidest fucking weapons in Star Trek history. Same with that three-sided goddamn boxing ring in that hologram simulation of Voyager, because it has to be alien, it has to be different, it has to be futuristic, so we're gonna make it three-sided. The same with them oblong fucking coffee tables in a fucking motion picture and shit like that. In the recreational room, it has to be different, it has to be futuristic, it has to be alien. And so they decided, okay, let's just change the parameters and not make it normal. And that's the same with the Bat'leth. It's fucking stupid, but for some reason, I like it. I like it a lot. Yes, I do.
Even though you would kill yourself trying to fight with it.
Right?
Yes, yes, but I don't know. There's something about it. It's like carrying a baby. Like with the way it is. My lovely backlift. Look at the curve on you. It's so nice.
That's why I
I want
prefer
a
good
rocket.
Macleth.
I want a rocket in my hand. You know.
There's your Scarlet Palmers. There's your actress.
Oh, I'll
Xantha.
be googling. I'll be googling that name after the stream. Thank you very much, my friend.
Okay, so we have Batleth, we have quantum torpedoes, we have. So let's talk about the most broken. I want to really quickly talk about what was it, the phase rifle, the one from DS9 in the final season, where you could shoot through walls using a transporter bullet. Do you guys remember that? Well, Zam, you probably don't remember that one, but
Who's
They
them?
teleported the actual physical projectile to do
Yeah.
the assassinations. That was a good episode.
yeah,
That
but it
was
was
a good
such a
episode.
broken weapon. Why doesn't everybody have this weapon?
Why doesn't everybody have cloak? Some
Well-
people just agreed to play nice.
Yeah, I know, but still, it's not like that. Yeah, but still, I mean, it's yeah. Oh well, Ginger Greek, he's got his favorite weapon from Star Trek, Borg butt plugs for the win. That is a
Ooh.
weapon of ass destruction for sure. It depends on if you get the cube, the sphere, or the diamond. I mean, that's a whole different nightmare right there for you. So, but
I like
that
the
is a
sound of this.
hmm?
It sounds tasty as well. The Borg butt plugs. Mm.
They sound tasty.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you
Like some
ever
good
done-
old fashioned Alabama barbecue.
Oh yes. You should
okay.
try some. It's finger licking good.
Thing or something.
All right. Well, I guess not many comments on the phase rifle. Get into weapons.
Oh,
The
the face so
no,
boring and bog standard.
no,
It's so shit.
it's broken for sure.
Let me tell
What?
you, I
Go
just
ahead.
really tell you weapons I like. Like you seen that movie Star Trek Nemesis with the legendary Tom Hardy playing a young clone version of Picard. Yes. Now he was in a ship with some interesting weapon in it, which can fuck you up in various ways.
It's a
I really
biological weapon.
Yes, it was very good. I like it, and I like that weapon. I don't know what it is. I can't even explain it, but I like it, and I know that it was dangerous, and I felt, I'm one of the few people who likes the Star Trek Nemesis movie. I think it's a lot better than people get it for. I know Tom Hardy almost fucking fell into depression because of that film, but he's had a very good career since, and I like that weapon very much. And it was such a dangerous weapon that Data sacrificed himself to destroy it. So yeah, props to that weapon.
I mean, it was I. So here's my issues with or here's my not issues with Nemesis. I thought Nemesis was actually pretty good in some points. I love the battle with the Scimitar, like the Enterprise E and the two Romulan war. Now they weren't warbirds. What were they? I don't even remember what they were. They're like bird. They weren't
Hordebuds.
horror birds. Okay, we can call them horror birds. Why not? But that fight sequence was very awesome. Picard ramming the Scimitar was cool, but later on,
So stupid.
I'm kind of like, yeah.
No, don't say stupid, please. Me like it. I like it very much. It's very good. Oh, hold on. Sorry, slightly distracted. My man, Dover the Ben. Dover the Ben. Gunter can empty the. Oh, Paula. Oh, boy. You, my friend, you are not getting the call this year. You're getting all the goodies Xander can lay upon you. And I can't wait to see you and give it to you. Give it to you personally, my friend.
Just since we're doing comments really quick, Mr. System says I like to see the phase rifle again. I don't think it should have ever been created, but I guess it is what it is. But yeah, I mean it's there now, so it's in the universe, so maybe Lower Decks will do something with it. He also says Gorn and Tholians in Lower Decks era. I don't want the Gorn right now in Lower Decks era only because, and we've seen the Gorn in Lower Decks, but not as like a main thing. Only because they're really leaning on them in Strange New Worlds. So I really don't want them to like lean on Gorn as well as the Gorn as
Well,
well. In two different shows in two
Don't
different
want them to
eras.
become the Borg.
Yeah. So
I,
I really want them to just kind of like, let the Gorn be with the Strange New Worlds main protagonists, just like the Klingons or like the TOS main protagonists. And I mean, I don't know, TNG was kind of the Borg, I guess. What would you, the Cardassians and the Dominion were more the DS9 main protagonists.
Then Voyager had so innovatively the Borg.
Well, Voyager had to innovate a lot because they were constantly traveling, and that's kind of my issue with Voyager was, honestly I feel like they should have just like
I
got
wanted to
stuck in the
see.
Delta Quadrant, and they should have stayed until they found a way home, not done this whole traveling all the way back. Like
The traveling throughout, I would argue, is the only saving grace of Voyager. The exploration feels more real, and the sense of the feeling of isolated and them being on their own was a really good concept that they completely fucked up on the execution of. And I'm gonna sit on it for now, but like I have a bug up my butt about something about the weaponry of Voyager.
oh yeah, it's the torpedoes. Come on, man. Everybody knows that.
Well, hopefully I can bring
See,
you
here
through
I
that
thought I was
problem,
gonna be so like edgy, being pissed off about where the fuck did she keep getting more torpedoes from when they were supposedly so limited.
No, I why can't they create more? I'm not saying replicate more torpedoes, but why can't they build more torpedoes? Is my question.
They
Like,
don't have the raw materials unless they replicate the raw materials to assemble it for it. That takes energy because you can't make the matter without converting the energy, and they have to create the energy with the warp reactor. So therefore, the rationing. They only have the limited amount of deuterium to act as the matter for the
but didn't they
reaction.
pick up deuterium on the way home? Hey, this counts. We're still talking about weapons, by the way. Did I
They
thought they picked up
eventually
deuterium?
they get more deuterium, but she never like lifted like the rationing of energy. And like Tom Paris can't even make a fucking pizza, and she's just firing torpedoes all willy nilly, and they're like they can't replace these. They don't even have the energy to for people to enjoy what they want for dinner. They have to eat friggin' Neelix's poison Leola root.
Yes, Neelix's food doesn't look very appealing, but I have to say, remember that episode of Voyager where these alien planets in the future mistook Voyager for being a warship? And they had all these cannons and stuff like that until the Doctor rectified the real history of what Voyager was.
Yeah,
That's one of the best episodes of
that is the
Voyager.
closest thing you get to a mirror universe episode of Voyager.
Yes, yes, I agree. A lot of people said that, and I want to see those cannons fire. I want to see this mistook uh, history of what Voyager really what Voyager was supposedly to be the reality, and I want to see those weapons, those dangerous weapons fire. And just to get to some comments here, Mr. Dover, Mr. Doverben, I want your goodie bag. Well, my friend, not only will you get it, I will give it to you in a cylindrical form, straight to you. So keep an eye out for it. But I don't want to poke your eye out for with it. Okay, Mr. System, Folian backstory hasn't been expanded out much, so that's why I want to see them. What is the Folians again, my friend?
The Tholians are the ones with the web in the TOS era that
They're an
surround the ship and make
insectoid
it disappear.
race. They have
Yeah,
to be super hot, high temperature. If they get too cold, they
shatter.
shatter. Yeah, Doctor
Aren't they? They're
Phlox and
crystalline.
mirror. They're like a crystalline bug people. Yeah, and
Yeah.
the mirror Phlox was really enjoying torturing them. I remember.
No. But TLD says the Voyager had 1,000 torpedoes. But I
Technically,
don't think they didn't use 1,000 torpedoes
no, I
across the
think it
whole
was like, was it
series.
100 and some, or I don't remember what the count was.
It was like barely over 100. I think the TLD is being hyperbolic for comedic effect, and I'm here for
Oh,
it. I'm here for it. I like the
well,
way you think.
I do feel that they have the capacity to create more torpedoes if they need to. I don't think it's out of the realms of possibility.
Then why
But
did they
anyway,
point out it being like a limited
I
resource
don't
in the
know. I
pilot?
don't know. I don't know. You have to forgive me. I'm old. Um, Mr. System, a lot of Delta Quadrant species could easily be resisted with the Barzan wormhole. Now, I like the sound of a Barzan wormhole. Please explain to me what the hell that is.
That's the wormhole that the Ferengi went through, and then when they encountered the Ferengi in the
Oh,
Delta Quadrant,
yes.
they were trying to. I think they
Yes.
were trying to sell off. Wasn't it the Ferengi were trying to buy the wormhole, but then they got stuck in it, and that was actually from a TNG episode, and they even mentioned in that episode that wormhole led to the other side of the Delta Quadrant.
What I
So it
like
actually
about
made
this,
sense that although space is massively vast, they just happened to run into these guys out in the Delta Quadrant, this massive quadrant, which I can forgive that. That's whatever. I thought it was funny to
what
see. Was Jeffrey Combs in that episode as a Ferengi? I
what
don't
he has
I
remember.
to be in
don't
it because it's
think it
Jeffrey
was
Combs.
him, but they were great Ferengi in that episode. It was the same two from the TNG episode, and it is a great callback. Yet another really good Voyager episode. Just
Mm.
you'll have to make a montage of me admitting episodes of Voyager are good.
Well, what I like about Star Trek just generally is that they have all these holes and they waste no time penetrating them in space. And you know what? That's a get a A-OK from me. Discovery is good.
Voyager used 123 of its 38 torpedoes. I love how they said that. 123 of their 38.
Mhm.
I think that there was. I mean, I do agree with you, Mage, that there should have been an episode where they're like, "Hey, we need to go to this planet to get deuterium so we can create more torpedoes because we're running low." I agree with you that there should have been an episode like that, but they had to have been watching out for that kind of resource while they were out there, and they just didn't put it on screen, and it's a show. I mean, let's be real. Oh man, Xanta, you got to take the same meds as Zam.
I'm
Always
sorry.
leaving the ringer on.
My
Always.
my my sleigh runs on electricity, and I have to put an alarm on it so I know when to charge it because even I am suffering from the cost of living crisis. So I have to get my little helpers to pedal at night because I only let them sleep during the day. Because in the day, that's when I want to be awake doing my own thing. Okay,
Okay. Unless you guys have another weapon to add, I got one to add.
please.
Go for it.
The Genesis device. It can be
Oh
used as
yeah,
a.
can be weaponized.
Oh
Let's
yeah.
talk
Yeah,
about Genesis
it's a,
device, and then I'll go back to a Voyager weapon I want to
it's a
discuss.
weapon. It's a weapon that is so dangerous it creates life.
Well, it destroys life too. It destroys all life, and then it reboots, and you can recreate life. And actually,
Oh,
technically, it didn't even wipe life off of the Genesis planet because it created the Genesis planet. There was
listen,
no
sorry,
planet there beforehand.
I apologize, but my boyfriend, funeral friend, is secret my secret lover, funeral friend, and today he has to say abortion is not a basic human right. Killing an unborn baby is not a right. I know. I like to poke it back in with you, my funeral friend. Opposed to discrimination is still discrimination. Yes, fight the power, my friend. Fight the power. Okay.
Uh, and yes, also what kills babies is the Genesis device. So I don't know. I mean, like, what are your guys' thoughts on like? Do you think that I mean, I know they were talking about Genesis and Lower Decks this season, and I know I mean, obviously they've made reference to it in the past in Picard. I think it was on the Daystrom Institute. Like,
They had one.
so what are your? I mean, what would you think about if there was a race that did? I mean, I know the Klingons
But
wanted Genesis to
but
use
it's
it as
not
a
meant to be
weapon.
a weapon. I mean, it can be used. It's like a weapon that's not supposed to be a weapon. I mean, if that's the case, you might as well call a car a weapon because it's not a weapon, but it can be used as a weapon. If you know what I'm saying. This is a terraforming device supposed to create life. Yes, you can kill with it, no doubt about it, but that's not its purpose.
But a car is a lot less powerful than a device that can reset life on an entire planetoid.
I know, but the premise is it's still the same, whatever the word may be, which I can't think of at this moment in time. It is not there to be used as a weapon. Its purpose was it was created by scientists to benefit systems, not there to destroy it. Obviously, it can be used for that, but that was not. It was never a purpose to be a weapon. It just got bastardized by the bad people to become weapon.
Common plot device in the 80s for sci-fi.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. All right, Major Rage, what do you got for us? Hit us with it.
Try cobalt devices.
Oh yeah.
Why are they so powerful, and why is it so terrible if you let the caretakers get a hold of them, or even the Kazon? Like how is like it just seems like it's thrown out there. Try cobalt device. It's really powerful. It's so hand wavy. Like, what makes it better than bi or normal cobalt?
I have absolutely no idea. I mean, I know that. Yeah, I mean, aren't they? They're banned, right? Like, aren't they
They're a
banned
banned device,
in the
but Janeway
Federation?
has some on Voyager to take out the caretaker array. Uh,
Yeah, I
and
don't know. I mean, I've never really thought about the tricobalt. I mean, I know of them obviously, but
Well, we have my good friend Ryan Jellies. Jellies, have you been a good little boy this year, my friend? Because if so, I'm going to come to your house and give you a big, fat surprise.
Don't threaten him with a good time.
Right?
Now, can I have a turn?
Absolutely, go for it. I mean, as long as Mage is done with his
That's my minor stupid rant.
yeah,
I've got nothing better. Go for it, Xanta.
Well,
it's just like a mat like thermonuclear. Isn't thermonuclear lower than nuclear or nuclear? I don't know.
It's a specific type of nuclear device where it generates heat and that causes the implosion.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, tricobalt is just basically like a hugely powerful, very dangerous, you know, style of torpedo. It's probably like somewhere between the quantum torpedo, like photons, quantum, and then tricobalt are probably like the big ones. But
Sounds like a chemical reaction being, cobalt's a type of heavy metal.
yeah, I think it just sounded cool. All right, go ahead, Zam. Or I'm sorry, Xanta.
w- well, what you guys are trying to go with all this elaborate, fancy stuff. I'd like to keep it a little bit back to basics, my friends. And one of the things I like is when James T. Kirk was fighting the Gorn and he went all MacGyver and started finding all these minerals to put into a bamboo shoot and turn it into a goddamn rocket launcher to take down the Gorn. That, my friends, is one of the greatest Star Trek weapons I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh
And we have
God,
to give it lots of credit. Don't you think it was genius?
it
Come on.
was
It
it
was
was something.
great. And the best example of something that TOS did a lot, and they did MacGyver before MacGyver was a thing. Like one time, Kirk and Spock make a phaser out of like basically two sticks, some wire, and a crystal, and take out Landrew, the computer. I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Just TOS love to do that MacGyvering up some bullshit impromptu weapon. But the example that you listed, Santa Claus, is the best. Like, how do you make a like rocket launcher? I guess you have to be James Tiberius to pull that one off.
Yeah,
He
I
was
mean,
in the right planet, sorry, Chito. He was in the right planet, a planet full of minerals and resources. It felt like one of these planets you find playing No Man's Sky. You got the gold here, and you got this here, and you got that here, and you bring it all together, and you make a lovely something or other, and you use it to kill the god. Yeah, I like it very much.
so here's another one that makes no sense. That I was just kind of perusing, but the red matter from Star Trek 2009.
Mm,
What
yeah.
is red matter? Like there's antimatter, and then there's matter, and then there's red matter. Like, is it
Mm.
Kool-Aid matter? Like what? Like I
I
mean,
think it comes. I think it comes from
I have red matter
discarded
right here.
tampons.
It comes from.
You find it
Oh
discard.
God,
Yes, there you go. To kill anybody. Oh my goodness.
good God, and there's Xanta. Everybody,
No, just some Abrams BS.
I
Just
know, it's Abrams, but still, I'm like, oh yeah, red matter. That was a dumb thing, wasn't it? Like
like
let's launch matter into a sun, create a black hole in the sun, which would absorb. I don't get how that was going to restart the star. It's kind of like the Genesis. It's like you're creating a black hole. This was not going to end well, like at all. Like period. I don't understand what their plan was here.
I still to this day I don't know what the fuck red matter is, and this is the thing sometimes with Star Trek. They want to create a, a MacGuffin or some sort, and just hope you understand what the fuck is going on with your previous Star Trek knowledge.
Yeah, right. Techno
or
babble.
just extreme willful suspension of disbelief.
Oh yes.
Just go with it, fucker. Just go with it.
Now
right?
I'll tell you something. Now, many of the futuristic weapons can't kill a bog to to save your life. But if you go into a holodeck, and then take off the security protocols and grab yourself a Tommy gun, oh boy, that will kill plenty of bogs, no problem at all. And I personally think that when it comes to killing bogs, stop using projectile weapons which their shields it can bounce off. Use something a bit more solid, a bit more realistic,
Well,
A
like a
ballistic
bullet.
weapon. A
that's
ballistic
why
Yeah,
weapon,
Picard
yeah.
was using. That's why Picard was using the gun, was because he was using a ballistic style weapon where their energy shields are more attuned to like energy weapons.
phases. Yes.
But I mean, I'm assuming maybe. I mean, obviously they'd probably be able to adapt for ballistic weapons, but it seemed like it worked pretty well in First Contact. I
Oh,
mean,
I
and
liked
we've
it very
seen
much.
Worf. I mean, that physical hand to hand combat also works. So, like, if you're
Mm.
using like mech lefts and bath lefts and everything like that, or
Yeah, he
you
used
know,
like a mini bat lift, didn't he, when he
yeah, a
flipped that
mech
bog
left,
in space?
yes,
Mac left, a MacGyver left. Yes,
sure.
yes, I like it very much. Yeah,
So I don't
so
know.
yeah, Tommy Gunn, without doubt, needs to be, in the Star Trek, sorry, in the Starfleet armory when you're fighting the bog.
I think they would probably just make a bunch of the phase rifles because phase rifles used bullets, didn't it? It used it a solid projectile, didn't it?
No, it's just a high yield phaser.
No, because it had transported something.
That's the special one, that prototype one that they got a hold of for DS9 for that
Yeah,
episode.
and that
But
is
no, the big just phase rifles, like they
no.
bust out against the Borg, those are just super high yield.
Yeah, no. I know that the Type 3 phasers, yes. The Type 3 phasers are what the ones you're talking about. I'm talking about the phase rifle, the one that the assassination one. Isn't and I thought it was called a phase rifle. The one where they have a little eyepiece on and they can see through walls, and then when they shoot it, it launches, transports the bullet right to where, like, right in front of the target, and then it hits them. So it's not going through any walls or anything like that. It
But
is
it
literally
continues its
transporting.
motion through the law of conservation of energy and just
Maybe.
keeps the same trajectory.
Yeah.
What was the name of the weapon that was used in that TOS episode where Kirk and Spock fought? When Spock was going for the bonfire,
Oh,
those sticks.
the
I think it had a blade on
arg,
it. There.
the
No, it had
Oh,
arg.
it had the big
Yeah,
round ends.
the like yeah, and
The
curves in like
glorified
that. Yes, no,
glorified
it's
canoe paddle.
something. I was looking at them last night actually.
Lurpa.
A larpa,
Vulcan Lurpa. I looked it up.
lurpa.
Lirpa.
The Arg is the knife, the Klingon knife. That's right.
Yep. The Lurpa. Yeah, I didn't know the name of it either. I mean, I knew exactly what you were talking about, but I just couldn't remember the name.
And do you remember in Generations that the character played by Andy McDowell? Sorry, he had a gun, I believe, which it
Oh,
had
that
like a scope
twisted
that
up.
just flicked over. Yeah, I like that very much. That was
I
a good
mean,
weapon.
it was cool. It had no purpose that I could tell, but it was cool. Like, it made it different.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Listen, we haven't mentioned the most dangerous weapon of all the Star Trek weapons. The
Judo chop.
No, the Ferengi whip.
Oh,
Like, do those
okay.
even have a fail rate? I don't think I've ever seen them not succeed at like subduing somebody with one of those.
I know, right? Like, I
The
think they were only in the
Ferengi
what?
energy whip are in like 2, maybe 3 episodes, but they get it done. They're like girls on the boys. They get it done.
I thought it was only in the one, the Lost Outpost or whatever it was called. The Last Outpost. So the one where they first encounter the Ferengi.
I believe there's a second TNG episode, and also the Ferengi in the Mugatu episode of Lower Decks were using them.
You're right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You are right about that one. Um,
Lower Decks is
No,
canon, not just loose canon.
yeah, it should be loose cannon. The
that
writers could
could
easily do
easily.
a movie with the captains meeting up if Q was involved somehow. First off, I don't want
Yeah.
William Shatner. If they do that, I want Chris Pine or what's the new one's name? I can't remember his name now. No, not
Oh,
Wesley.
Jim Carrey.
No, not
Jim
Jim Carrey.
Carrey, yes, he
Yeah,
looks like him. Yeah,
that
let's
yes,
just
the
call
one
him
that
Jim
looks like Jim
Carrey.
Carrey. God, what is
Yeah,
his name? I
he's
used
the
to know his
best
name
Kirk.
too.
You were throwing
I
it
would
out
want.
all this season on Strange New Worlds.
I would want
I'm
that
not
one.
sure. I'm not sure because I think and please don't take this the wrong way, but I'm not sure if Kate Mulgrew can do like proper acting, physical acting like she once did, because she's starting to look more like Jabba the Hutt every day. If you saw her,
I'll
if you saw,
guys go ahead and keep going. I'll be right back.
don't get me wrong. I have nothing against her personally, but if you're doing a captain's movie, then you want some physical moments with your main characters, and I can't see her waddling along like a female Oswald Copperpot, you know, doing her thing. No, 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 not for me. And every Brooks, I think, might be a bit past it himself as well. This guy, I'm not sure about him either. The only person who looks like he keeps himself in good shape is Scott Bakula. But and and obviously Patrick Stewart's in his 80s as well. We can't
I
be
mean,
asking too much from him.
how did he not break a hip running around in season 1 of Picard?
Oh yes, but he's in exactly, and now he's even older. We shouldn't be demanding physicality from him. Maybe
No,
get Tom Hardy. Get Tom Hardy to
I was
fucking.
just gonna say that. Get Tom Hardy to come back and play a younger Picard.
No.
Anybody but Jack Crusher, Space Jesus.
Right?
Oh
Yeah,
yes.
we don't want Jack Crusher to come back.
But no, but to the point, Mr. Systems. Maybe about 20 years ago, it would have been a good idea because I could see a 70-year-old Shatner doing the role and stuff like that. But it's just impossible now, unfortunately. I think some of the actors are just a bit past it.
So what if they brought back, like, let's say we take a selection of them. Like, what if they brought back the new Kirk, or what if they brought in like the new Kirk, um, not Picard, maybe a young Picard, but I don't know. Um, Scott
If they went time
Bakula.
traveling, if they went time
Yeah, bring in
traveling,
Archer.
and, and bring people back from different periods of time,
Yeah,
then yeah,
that's what
they
I
could
mean.
do it. So they could get Archer at the tail end of his life, and they can get to maybe a young a young Cisco, or maybe a young Janeway, But I don't know. If you sometimes if you don't have the original actor playing them, it might not feel authentic enough than having somebody as a stand-in.
But
At
then what
least
about
with
bringing in Pike from Strange New
yeah, no,
Worlds,
no,
and
no,
then
no, that's fine. That's fine because that's already been established. But when you're having somebody who hasn't been established as a young person, like a Janeway, like a Cisco, then it won't feel good. It won't feel good at all. It'll just feel like a show-in.
yeah,
Yeah, it'll feel like a cop out, like they're insulting you by trying to pass off this counterfeit.
Exactly.
yeah, and I mean
So
that's what I'm saying. Like maybe just pick and choose, not as I said, no Shatner, no Avery Brooks. He could. I don't want him on an adventure, and honestly, I don't want him back in Trek because he was always very hoity-toity towards Trek.
He he acted like he didn't ever want to come back anyways.
Yeah,
I
and I
have,
mean
I,
he acted like he was better than most Trek fans too. Like he really put it out there like
this
that.
is my problem with some of these actors. DeForest Kelly had this issue a little bit with Trek. Obviously every Brooks and even people like Harrison Ford with Star Wars. Like, these are the things that put you on the map and give you guaranteed fucking paychecks. Don't fucking insult this shit. But if you didn't want to fucking do it, you would have done it anyway. But fucking like Harrison Ford doing the two of the sequel movies, for DeForest Kelly doing every opportunity he had a chance to do the fucking Star Trek movies. Avery Brooks, he had a bloody career because of fucking and became a recognized name and did films like American History X because of fucking DS9. Don't shit on your legacy. This is very important to who you are as an actor. A lot of actors would dream to get roles like this that gave them guaranteed fucking work. I'm just
Don't
very
forget where you came from.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
don't
mean, I
ship
get
me.
like it's kind of like Elizabeth Olsen right now. Like she's saying, she's taking a break from the MCU right now, but she says I'm not opposed to coming back. She's like I just want to do other things right now. And that's
Mm-hmm.
okay. Just come out and be honest. Be like I'm taking a break right now. It's a lot, and I understand it's a lot, but like, just don't burn your bridges,
Yeah, she
Don't
doesn't act like she's better than being in the MCU or being above it now that she's gotten a little more name recognition.
Yeah. She knows who made her. I mean, let's be real. Elizabeth Olsen was made by the MCU because I had no idea who Elizabeth Olsen was before the MCU.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
weren't even
exactly.
certain she was related to the twins.
I mean, she is.
And
She's their
Right,
younger
but we
sister.
weren't certain.
Yeah.
Now we're like, oh yes, no,
and now
that's
she's bigger
her.
than the twins, and now
Yeah,
she's
now
like
Yeah,
she's a
much
lot
bigger
more
than
way
them.
popular
bigger.
than them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of these actors they wouldn't have got the careers they had, even if some of their films outside the MCU flops. They wouldn't have had a career at all if it wasn't for being a part of a franchise like this. So no, 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 look, look, TRD. I'm not doubting that. Even Patrick Stewart was an established stage actor, guaranteed. Guy was a Shakespearean fucking powerhouse. But it's things like this that put them on the map that everybody knows
The
about them.
broader
Yeah,
spectrum,
yeah,
secular.
without a doubt.
Are part of the zeitgeist now.
Yeah. I mean, let's be real. Like, who's her? Like, okay, like if you walk up to say who's the captain of DS9, 9 times out of 10, most people will not know Avery Brooks's name. They might know Cisco, but like,
Hmm.
everybody knows Patrick Stewart. Everybody knows William Shatner. I mean, most people know Kate Mulgrew at this point, but it's like you go up to somebody and talk about Avery Brooks, they'll be like, "Who is that?" Oh,
Yeah,
Cisco. Okay. Like
yeah,
most Trek fans will like big Trek fans will know Avery Brooks, but like if you go to like a casual Trek fan who doesn't like aren't nerds like us, then yeah, I mean it's kind of like yeah, I mean Avery kind of dug his grave when he was like kind of distanced himself from the Trek community, and he did other projects and nobody really supported it. Like he didn't.
Yeah. And then you have Kate Mulgrew. She still leans into it. She showed up to the unveiling of the Janeway statue in Bloomington, Indiana.
She's done tons of
Prodigy. She's reprised her role in Prodigy for fuck's sake.
she also did a
Yeah.
lot on the convention circuit too. I mean, she was always willing to go out on conventions. Avery Brooks was
Exactly.
not. Avery Brooks was a hard get.
There's only maybe a couple of actors, in my opinion. I think I can only think of two, who were renowned before they became involved in Star Trek, and that's Whoopi Goldberg and Scott Bakula from Quantum Leap. Everybody knew, but like, every time Scott Bakula is doing bloody Star Trek conventions, they never talk about fucking Enterprise. They always talk about fucking Quantum Leap
Quantum
with him.
Leap.
Yeah.
Oh,
He was already a
no.
household name. It was a huge show on NBC when it first came
And
out.
I would say most recently probably Carl Urban as well. Everybody knew who the hell he was before he became Bonds. But
Yeah. I mean, he's better in Thor anyways. Behold my stuff.
Dude, that
That's
guy's
really
been in
good.
every franchise.
Mm.
He's in Mad Max, right?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Was he?
Picard from the okay, so I think this is Mr. System who Q
His
could get.
dream casting.
Yeah, Picard from the early season, Cisco from after the Pale Moonlight, Janeway from when she was depressed about being in the Delta Quadrant, Archer from after the Zindi and the current Pike and Kirk. But I mean, you'd have to recast those though. Like Picard, I
I
would say Picard. I mean, yeah, if you can get what's his face, Tom Hardy in that season one spandex outfit, like you go for it, man. Like let's get
but
Tom Hardy in that spandex outfit from
as
season
far
one.
as where their characters are at, though, and mentality wise, I kind of like the selections in the timeline for Mr. System right there. Like, all of them would be feeling a certain kind of way about something and could benefit from hearing each other's perspectives on their
I,
different situations.
I I have one. I have an idea. How about the offspring? They get together and do something. Like you can get before David dies. You can get him. From do some time travel shenanigans and maybe save him from getting killed by the Klingons. You obviously get Jake, Cisco, maybe Archer's got a kid. Maybe Janeway ends up having a kid. Who else is there?
Oh,
Fuck
so
me,
it's the young Avengers version
yeah,
of.
yeah. Well, you
A
love that
second
shit, don't you?
generation kind
See,
of
that's right
thing.
up your fucking alley, Tito. I know you love that
I
shit.
don't like that idea at all. Actually, I think that's a
God damn it.
terrible idea. Yeah, I don't know.
And you
Or
get
Jade.
Jake, you get Jake, you get Jack Picard or Jack Crusher or whatever,
No, we don't need Space Jesus Jack Picard or whatever Mage calls him.
He's Space Jesus, and no,
Every
absolutely
bloke
do
was
not need
Hawk.
him. Fucking
What is
get rid
Hawk?
of him.
Was Hawk in fucking Buck Rogers in the 21st Century season 2? Wasn't that somebody else?
I have no idea. As that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know if any. I don't know any other of
DH.
Avery Brooks' body of work besides Star Trek.
No, but no, DH. You can DH the face, but you can't DH the body. Have you
Yeah,
not
look at.
seen the Irishman? That's a prime example.
Have you seen like
Yeah.
Sam Jackson running around in Captain Marvel, the first one? Yeah, they did a great job making him look de-aged, but he looked like he was a 70-year-old dude running around. He's
Mm-hmm.
like, like there's no pep in that stuff.
God damn, Carol, just calm your ass down,
I,
motherfucker.
I mean, let's not rag on him too much for running like that. I'm 38 and I run like that already.
Me
No, this
too.
is true. But still, I'm just saying, like, yeah, I mean, come on. Okay. I don't know what.
What else you got for us?
Oh, I've got a bunch of stuff here. I'm just kind of looking through and. So what about the?
Two vote from the Voyager era could meet Sulu, and maybe anyone who met the Paul in the old age could meet her when she's younger. Mm.
Tuvok
I
from the
I
Voyager
wouldn't
era
mind
can
Jolene
meet
Bullock now.
Sulu.
She still looks fucking great, to tell you the truth. You know what I mean?
Meet his former commanding officer again once he's older and has a little more experience. That could be cool.
What are your guys? Let's talk about the Zindi saga. Like, I want to talk about the Death Star, like the Star Trek Death Star.
The Death Star?
Oh.
That is a weapon. That is a weapon.
It's a weapon of mass destruction, even you could say.
Yeah.
Oh, what a time to have a plot line about a WMD.
Well, I think that's
Almost
exactly
like
what
it's
they were
the
going for.
Almost like it's the most topical of any Trek and out-Treks any other Trek at talking about political topics at the time.
Keep politics out of my Trek. Politics has never been in Trek. I want to know when did politics and wokeness get into Trek?
I don't know. Talk about the guys who are white on one side and black on the other. Talk to them. They could answer that question for you.
Oh, yeah.
Well, bend over, of course, sending more love to Xanta. As long as they spread their legs easy, I want to see Xanta's weapon.
And I'll give you both barrels, my friend. And I'll shoot
Both
that
barrels?
thing
Wait a
over
minute.
you.
He's got two? God, he is
Full
magic.
blast.
Yes.
Xanta Claus is hung like a Klingon, apparently.
Yes, and I'll give you my secret sauce.
No, but I mean, seriously, like the Zindi weapon. Like, I get it that maybe the season was drawn out a little, but I love the slow burn of them learning more and more about this weapon. And like, just the fact that it is kind of an allegory for us in the Middle East, like, well, the Americans in the Middle East. Oh, sorry, Xanta, I'll keep the North Polians out of this one, but like it's kind of that go in and bomb it to glass, while you're searching for your people that are the people that are trying to kill you.
Let God sort them out. That was the Starfleet position. That was the U.S. position. It was so well done, and it made so many people uncomfortable. It makes Trek fans uncomfortable to this day, and I argue generates a lot of the anti-Enterprise sentiment, and it doesn't deserve the hate for doing what Trek's always tried to do better than most other Trek, but it gets it maligned for doing it so well.
My only problem with all of that storyline, not just the weapons, but the whole storyline, is that you're creating a historical event in a prequel Star Wars series, which has never been brought up once at all in the future episodes or the in the future events of what has happened after Enterprise.
Yeah,
So
but let's
stuff
be
like that.
real. First off, it happened 200 years prior to
But they are
to
yeah, but what
TNG.
you're talking about is significant, and not to even be brought up once. It's like talking. We talk about historical events all the time. Which have happened.
How many
In the past.
how many times do we bring up Pearl Harbor? We have
No,
not
but
brought
it's
up
been.
Pearl Harbor. I think we've
No,
maybe
but
brought up Pearl Harbor
but no,
once.
but you don't have to bring up
That's
Pearl Harbor.
that's
You just have
70
to bring up.
years.
You just have to bring up World War Two and things like Hiroshima. You got World
But
War One, which is
That's
what
no, no,
only
no, no, no.
70 years out. That we're talking about 200-300-year-old event that would
And
be
you have
like
all.
discussing the events of the Battle of Agincourt,
But you have
basically.
all these genocides like the Crusades and stuff like that. These things have been spoken about today. You would think there's something that's
but
happened in the
the
past.
okay, but
That's a human event. The Federation's a multicultural,
and
multi-planet kind of organization, and Starfleet is as well. By the time that we're talking about, would
and
be
let's be
discussing this event, and this was an event that just humans were the victims of it. It happened to Starfleet when Starfleet was still a solely Earth organization.
No doubt, but Star Trek itself, until recently, um, Starfleet has always had majority, and this is the truth. Majority human crew members.
I, but
Majority and
they've
the staff and the
rectified that with
basis.
Discovery and
Yeah,
Strange New
no, no,
Worlds.
they did, but that's because Discovery is like fucking billion years in the future. But
No, I'm talking about seasons 1 and 2. They
yeah, but
had multiple races.
they still had majority humans, even in that when it came to the background cast and stuff like that, and obviously Starfleet. What the fuck was it? San Francisco, my friends. So yes, it's still primarily Earth based, regardless.
And
And
let's but you
at the
also need to
beginning,
keep in mind that the Zindi arc was a campaign. It was not a war. It was a campaign of Enterprise going into Delphix Expanse. And on top of that, it only took place over a couple months. There were numerous crusades back when the crusades happened. There were what, 3 major crusades?
Four,
Four? There
four
were four.
major, 8 total.
Yeah, so I mean, it is a lot different, and it's, as I said, it was a campaign. That's more like us mentioning. I don't know. I'm trying to even think of anything to compare it to. Like
It'd
let's say
be
the
Hannibal
Crusade.
crossing the Alps, maybe.
Yeah, yes, a lot happened in that campaign, but it's not yes, you can justify it being like one of the only times Earth was attacked by an alien WMD or something like that. But at the same time, you don't have to mention that. It's that's like I don't think there's really many places where they could have put that. And I get it. It's a television show and it was a prequel, but at the same time, it doesn't take very much to suspend your realization of that's what it is. Because I feel like they wouldn't talk about it too awful much unless you're sitting in the classroom listening about it, the specific topic.
I feel like this is Xanta's best jab at Enterprise, though. Like, it's a really good sticking point to have such a
my
major
first job, by the
retcon.
way, but I'm not Zam, just so you know. But
Well,
yes,
no,
this
I
is
never
my.
said so. It's just
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
you've made like another one or two tonight. I would never I would never confuse you with such a individual. You
Oh,
It's
seem
thank
to
you
have
very
damn,
much.
taste
yeah.
in class. Yeah,
Oh, thank you very much. I have a libido as well, unlike him.
Um,
not touching
another
that one.
weapon, another weapon that I thought of. I mean, we can start kind of wrapping things up here a little bit, but
Touch it.
huh?
No, he says he doesn't. I always tell people to touch it. Anyway, continue, please.
The Doomsday Machine. How, like the Doobie in space? How is it
Oh, the
created?
doobie in space.
It does. It looks like you ever see those memes where
Um,
it's like Q smoking
So
like
yeah,
the
the
Doomsday
J,
device?
yeah.
It's just a big doobie in space. Where'd it come from? I mean, is there any relation to the whale probes? Is it the same race? I would love to see some kind of, because they have similar design, almost spherical, like one just looks a little bit rougher than the other. Maybe it's like an older model, but yeah, like what's the where do these ancient weapons come from? I mean, I know the whale probe's not technically a weapon, but it
Because
definitely.
even if you don't want to be so derogative and say that it's a doobie in space, it looks like a giant seashell in space. Like it's just such
It's
a
a big conch.
it's got
Looks
this
like what
curly
what are
seashell.
those? What are those snacks? The ones that
Bugles.
bugles? Yeah, they look like
Yeah,
It looks like a bugle.
yes, you're
You,
making
you
me
smoke the
hungry.
giant space doobie and you want a giant space bugle.
Mm,
Yep.
yes.
So I don't know. I've always wanted to see. I was honestly kind of hoping that we would get some in Discovery season 4 when we were, when they had the lawnmower in space going through, gathering up
Oh God.
energy.
Oh God.
I kind of wish
Yeah.
that would have been. It might have been that race.
Well, I remember actually when they went to the future and Michael Burnham had Booker T and he had a gun on him. She had a gun on him, and
I'll be right back.
he said, "Don't! I can't believe you're pointing the antique at me." And then I remember the guns they had. They looked like giant bloody megaphones. I'm not sure if you remember that.
I do. It was it's like pointing a sousaphone at somebody.
Yeah, it was very bizarre, and yeah, like the thing with Star Trek, like Starfleet weapons, is that there's not much evolution over the years. Like the guns and the rifles have just been the same. Obviously, they look different with every different series to a degree, but they do the same shit. They either stun or they disintegrate. Or they can kill you.
Like
And
there's
same.
one instance where a TNG phaser causes flesh to melt away, and that one brutally, like, like disgusting scene with the uh, larvae monsters in people's thoraxes infiltrating Starfleet. For some reason, the phasers act like that one time. And that's always bugged me.
Look, I have to say, anybody called Booker is going to get the T at the end of their name, regardless. Like, that series where William Shatner, where he played the cop, T.J. Booker.
It's
Yes,
actually
I
TJ
call it.
Hooker, but
No, 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 no. It's Booker now. I
oh, okay.
renamed it.
TJ
And
Booker.
so he's T. So instead of being Booker T.J., it's T.J. Booker. They decided to reverse it around. There you go. And now you know something, TLD. I teach you something, my friend.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
God, can't top that.
Now, by the way, Mr. System has finally caught up with Ahsoka and Obi-Wan. Well, one half of this, I congratulate you, and one half of this, I feel sorry for you. But congratulations. And now you have to watch Andor and Mandalorian. Get on with it. It's almost
Please
2024, my friend.
do yourself a favor, watch the former and skip the latter.
The only one I would have skipped out, I just thought was Obi-Wan, which was a disgrace. Except for the final
That
episode, which wasn't too bad.
final episode was okay. The rest of it is hot garbo. I would agree with
I
you there,
agree.
Xanta.
Yeah,
Hot
let me
garbo.
just hide Leia under my coat. Yeah, hell that'll work. Fucking idiots. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because she speaks so fondly of these adventures she had with them back when she's sending the message to him. That sounds like
Yes.
a letter to a stranger.
Yes, I felt no pain I saw him when he died, on the Death Star. Like, I actually knew him too. I spent a whole adventure with him and I saw him die and I'm okay with it. And my planet has just been destroyed, but I'm okay with it too. Ugh. Anyway, sorry, I apologize.
So, and let's talk about the worst weapon that's ever been in Star Trek, and that is CBS copyright. I mean, come on, it's like the worst weapon of all. Paramount copyright. Toxic Trek fans. There we go. There's
Don't
another one.
don't show any like half a second of that trailer. Dare not react to that,
What
or else
about?
you will be struck.
Actually, a bad weapon is that they put that bug from Rafa Khan in your ear. I don't know what that bug does, by the way.
It
But
wraps around your cerebral cortex,
mm,
and it talks to you and whispers to you.
but how does Khan know how to manipulate the people inside to make them
Because
do his bidding? I don't understand.
it's Khan. I don't know. Because Khan knows stuff.
Fair enough. Yeah. So, and what about the Vulcan pinch? Is that a weapon?
Eh,
That's a technique.
yeah, more of a technique.
Cheeto and I love to discuss whether things are techniques or transformations.
Ooh, yeah, that's some Dragon Ball talk right there. Don't threaten me
Yeah,
with a
no.
good time, Majo Rage.
We need to do another Dragon Ball talk. That way
I
we can,
know.
list it again when we talk about all the different things we do here on NerdTube. I mean, because they're so plentiful.
Yes. All I can remember now is Majin Buu turning people into chocolate and putting them here.
In my
Here.
belly!
Yes.
In my
Yeah.
belly!
So,
They're right here. You know what? You know what a biological weapon could be? The tribbles. You can unleash them on a planet. They're like a biological weapon.
Yeah,
an
for real,
infestation.
a scourge.
I don't know where I saw it. I think it was Lower Decks where they kind of like fucked with them a little bit and gave them teeth and shit. I can't remember. Like, like
You
they
sure it wasn't
experimented
that
on.
one Peter Jackson movie?
Which one was that?
The zoo one.
The Zoo movie by Peter Jackson? Or King Kong?
No, it was one of his early horror films.
Or Bad Taste?
I think so.
God, I hate that film. No offense. That was a bloody that's a fan film with a budget. Ugh.
Yeah, no, it's so bad it's good. It's goodly bad. Like, it... I only watched it the one time, and my buddies had to
the
twist my
Frighteners.
arm, but...
The Frighteners as well. That was his. That was okay.
That one's
Jeffrey Combs.
okay. It's not like the other one, but...
It's just good to see Michael J. Fox play a very different type of role because he's always playing these fucking kids with a little bit of wit and ambition about them, and it's good to see him go like that. And oh god, that movie he played where he was a Vietnam guy, him and Sean Penn, and like they abuse this girl, and it's because of morality tale. It's now I forgot the name of the film. Oh god, it was very good. I love seeing actors break out of their mold, you know. So
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we kind of beat this topic to death. So, you guys,
I've
got
got
anything?
nothing left.
Yeah,
well, I like to tell people what we're going to talk about next week. Is that okay?
that's fine. Go right on ahead. I know which one you're gonna say.
And this is something I'm hoping that we go research when, and especially people in the chat as well. When you join us next week for this, we're going to talk about the movies, films, TV shows, TV appearances done by Star Trek actors, whatever they may be, and give our opinions on them.
I think that's bullcrap, though. You're stealing Zam's idea. Zam told me about that idea a while ago, and now you're stealing it, Xanta. That is not okay.
What is that?
Santa cares not for your intellectual property.
And you're not going to get Zam for a couple of weeks, at least 3 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that.
What did you do with our friend? Where did you hide him?
Here.
You turned him into candy and then ate him like Boo.
Yeah, yes.
It's a good thing he's still in our hearts because
yes.
he'll be missed until such a time as we see him
Don't
again.
worry. Once I finish digesting him, I'll pop him out for you. No problem. And you'll still have the same color.
30 pounds lighter.
Will he still? He'll still smell the same too, I guess.
Yes, he'll be my version of Bono. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. If you've seen South Park, you know what I'm on
Yes,
about.
he weighs like 10 Kuriks.
No idea. I don't watch South Park.
Yes. Okay, the wrestling show. What is he saying now?
I'm here to learn
I'm
about
here.
Trek stuff. Well, I'm going to teach you exactly about Trek stuff next time because you just came at the end of this stream. Bendover says he was inside me last night, just like Jesus. Ah,
Yes, congratulations, my friend. You're a very lucky person to be so enlightened. And uh,
Wrestling show. Go back and watch it. Go back to the beginning and watch it. Give it a like. Give it a like and subscribe and all those other things
It's
because
Years of Odd, right?
yeah, Xanta, Major Reed, thank you so much for being here talking about Star Trek weapons and other tangents. Always so much fun. We are now filling the void between Trek shows because who the hell knows when Trek is coming back. And yeah, so we will catch you guys in the next one. Catch you later.
I
Bye.